हाय यस गुड मॉर्निंग गुड आफ्टरनून और गुड इवनिंग। यस मैं हूँ सी ए मोहम्मद अली। ये है हमारा सेकेंड वीडियो। आज से हम करने वाले हैं टीडीएस सेक्शन का क्विक रिवीजन के 5 से 10 मिनट के अंदर क्विक रिवीजन हो जाएगा। इसके बाद आपको डेली एक एक टीडीएस के सेक्शन का एक वीडियो अपलोड करते जाएंगे। आप जस्ट उसको देख लेना। आप कभी भी टाइम मिलता है 2 मिनट 3 मिनट और 5 मिनट का टाइम में इसको फास्ट रख के देख लेना और टीडीएस का रिवाइज कर लेना, क्योंकि ये टीडीएस के सेक्शंस आर वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द एग्जामिनेशन, फॉर एवरी एग्जामिनेशन either intermediate or final examination. There might be 6 to 8 marks question, definitely question they are going to be asked in an examination. So I am covering in detailed very important points and in practical scenario also, okay. Now today we are going to be discuss TDS under section 194T of the Income Tax Act. That is TDS under section 194T is only applicable to the partnership firm including LLP. This is the new TDS sections introduced in the Finance Act 2024. So it will be applicable from 1st April financial year 1st April 2025 onwards. Sir, earlier पीछे पहले कभी भी नहीं था क्या? आंसर इज नो। पहले कभी भी नहीं था। ये नया सेक्शन इंट्रोड्यूस किया है फाइनेंशियल ईयर 24 25 26 एनवर्ड्स 1 अप्रैल 2025 से टीडीएस सेक्शंस अप्लीकेबल होता है फॉर द पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म इंक्लूडिंग एलएलपी. Yes, partnership firm where the partnership firm paying the remuneration, interest or any bonus or in the form of incentives or in the form of partnership firm. Then what is the TDS applicable, what should be covered in this section, what is the limit specified, and what is the time limit for the deducted TDS under these sections we will going to be discuss in detail. Okay, first one, what the payments are covered under section 194T, where the partnership firm paying to the partners in the form of salary and remuneration will come covered. That means regular payments made to the partners for the service rendered to the firm, where the partnership firm is paying the salary or remuneration is covered, and commission and bonus in the form company is paying or firm is paying the in the form of bonus or in the form of incentive or in the form of commission, then that will covered in this section. Then interest on capital, interest on capital, where the interest is credited to the partner's capital account as per the partnership deed is applicable for in these sections. So what is not covered in this section? Share of profit, because share of profit to the partnership firm is an exempted from tax, no taxable, because firm in the hands of firm is paying the tax, and after paying the tax the firm is distributing the tax share of profit to the partners. Hence the share of profit is an exempted from tax. That's why share of profit is not liable to deduct TDS. Now next limit, what is the time limit is what is the threshold limit applicable, what is the rate applicable, and what is the TDS rate applicable, and what is the time of deduction. First of all, understand that key parameters in this sections. TDS rate 10% TDS rate is applicable, and annual threshold limit is 20,000. Remember that most of the students or most of the professionals are getting the confusion. This 20,000 limits for one per year per annum, not per month. This 20,000 includes remuneration, bonus, commission, incentive, interest, everything should be covered under in this category. Okay, next, what is the time of deduction? When to deduct TDS? TDS must be deducted at the earlier of the following two situations. One is credited in the books of accounts including the capital account or actual payment done. These two scenario, whichever is earlier, TDS must be deducted. That means where the salary is credited every month, then that is called as credited month, or where the payment is paying now and salary is credited later, that the payment is come first, then whichever is earlier, TDS must be deducted. Like let us take one an example. If the total payments to the partner as an amount of rupees 55,000 in a financial year 25-26, the firm must deduct TDS of rupees 5,500, that is 10% of TDS. Now next question. So what is the very simple and very short. Okay, any salary, what is the compliance and practical implications to the follow to the firm? Every firm they must obtain TAN, and every firm they must obtain the TAN, and partnership firm must be acquired TDS tax deducted account number if not already or not registered under GST, not registered. Okay, now after coming to in these sections, most of the cases all the partnership firms is covered under in this TDS category, and they need to obtain TAN number. Otherwise, if they have paid the remuneration, if they have paid the interest, if they have paid any bonus or incentive, they are they are liable for TDS. If they are not obtained, they are not deducted TDS, then disallowances may happen definitely. Next, time deduction. Deduct TDS. Deduct TDS at the time of credit or payment, which I was earlier. This is very important. When they deduct TDS and when they make the payment, then that must be very important. Now there is a practical question. Every partnership firms, they are telling that we are not paying the remuneration of the monthly at the end of the year when the books got finalized. When they are there, they are going to pay the remuneration. Now, as per clarification by the department, even though remuneration you are credited in your books of account at the end of the financial year, but you are liable to deduct TDS monthly basis for the remuneration. Interest, next question, interest, if you are booked in at the end of the financial year and you are paying the interest at the end of the financial year, then you can deduct TDS at the end of the financial year only, but for the remuneration you must deduct monthly basis. So what about the bonus, what about the incentives, any payment by the partnership firm to the partner? In this case, you must have to be check credit date and payment date, whichever is earlier, you must deduct the TDS. Okay, next, once they obtain the TAN and once they have deducted the TDS, they must file the return quarterly and they must issue the form 16A to the every partner. Now there are frequently asked questions, or many of you having the questions related to under section 194T. Now first question number 1, amendment of deed is mandatory. So earlier, as per partnership form, is as per deed, whatever the mentioned remuneration or interest on capital is allowed, as allowed in computation of income computation as per section 40B rule. If your remuneration is if the remuneration is specified in deed is lesser amount, then you can't pay more than specified amount. You can pay lesser specified amount, but you can't pay more than the specified amount, otherwise entire remuneration will be disallowed. So that please keep remember that you have to be check the partnership form deed and what the remuneration is specified in the partnership deed. If they are specified lesser amount, then you must amend the partnership deed and get it amended partnership deed. According to partnership deed only deduct TDS and interest on capital. Got it? Next question, withdraw from accumulated capital account balance is liable for TDS? Answer is depends. Okay, if you are, let us take an example, if your accumulated balance as on 1st the April 2025 amount of rupees 1 lakh, where you are deducting from the out of 1 lakh rupees every month 88,000 or 10,000, let us assume every month 10,000. Okay, for this out any amount withdraw from the accumulated balance out of 1 lakh rupees, that is not liable for TDS, because earlier year there is no TDS, then you are accumulated the balances or you got the amount from share of profit. One thing, another thing, any amount received or any amount withdraw from the out of their share profit, out of their share of profit, even that amount also will not be liable for TDS, because the share of profit is an excluded from deduct TDS. Got it? Now question arise, sir, I am not paying the remuneration monthly, I am paying the end of the month, and I am not paying the interest, and the interest also I am credited in the end of the month, but whatever the accumulated balance in my capital account, every month I am going to pay to the partners in the firm by way of cash or by way of bank. Okay, whether I am liable to deduct TDS? Now again question arises, depends. Whatever the amount you are going to pay, whether that amount is related to the share of profit amount or accumulated balance or current year's remuneration or current year's interest on capital. If the current year remuneration, if the amount you are going to, partnership is going to be paid out of remuneration or interest on capital, then you are liable to deduct TDS. If your withdraw or if your partnership firm is paying out of their accumulated capital balances, then no liable for TDS. Next question, remuneration and interest on capital account recorded and paid at the end of the financial year and also liable for TDS? Yes. Let us take, we divided into two categories. One is remuneration is different and interest on capital is different. For the remuneration to the partnership firm, even though they recorded in at the end of the financial year and even though they are making the payment at the end of the financial year, but rendering services is the department is stating that rendering services is the monthly basis. For that you have to be deduct monthly TDS only. Okay, there is no exclusion for the remuneration. For the interest on capital, as for the interest on capital, they given the clarification, you can deduct at the end of the financial year once the whenever there is an credited to the books of accounts or payment, whichever is earlier. If you are credited in the March month and the payment also done in April month, then you are liable to deduct TDS for the month of March only, not for the month of not since beginning of the financial year. There are two situations, one is remuneration, another one is interest on capital. Fourth point, share of profit is liable to TDS. Answer is no. Share of profit is share of profit is not liable for TDS because share of profit is an exempted from tax. Now let us, I am going to summarize entire whatever you have studied. Any payment made by partnership firm to a partners is the liable for TDS except share of profit. Includes remuneration, interest on capital, any bonus, any commissions, any incentives. Includes all these payments. Okay. What is the TDS rate is applicable? 10% TDS. 10% TDS rate is applicable. What is the limit specified? 20,000 per annum. Limit is specified per annum per partner. What is the time limit for deduct TDS? Credited in the books of accounts or payment, whichever is earlier, you must deduct TDS. Now there is a question arise again, sir, the remuneration and partner interest on capital I am paying at the end of the financial year, I am liable for since 1st April. Answer is yes, for only to remuneration. The remuneration is giving at the end of the financial year also, but the since financial year 1st April 25 to sorry 1st quarter is liable for TDS. If you are not deducted TDS, then again you are falling under default in SSC. You are not deducted TDS, you are liable for the interest, you are liable for the penalty. Sir, interest 1.5% is per month. If you are not, if you are deducted TDS and not make the payment to the government, 1.5% is per month is applicable. Or if you are not deducted TDS, your late deduction is 1% TDS will be 1% interest on TDS will be applicable. So what is the penalty is applicable? Per if you are not filed the return quarter 1, then 200 rupees per day up to the maximum of total tax amount. If you are not filed the quarter 2, quarter 3, same wise if you are not filed the return, 200 rupees per day penalty is applicable up to maximum of your tax amount. So that remember, those who are the partnership firm, still now they are not deducted TDS now also, but since third quarter also, please make the payment with interest and penalty and file the return, or else definitely you are not your comes under assessing in default. Definitely in future the department will issue notices. Nowadays all the partnership firms, they are getting all the including partnership firm and LLPs, they are getting the notices from the department. You are the partnership firm, then for the remuneration or interest to the partners, you are not deducted the TDS, like that they are specifying, and they are asking for clarification as well, even though we have replied for that specified notices. So that please comply. If you have any doubt related to TDS under Section 194T, please comment on comment box. Definitely I will come and reply all the comments. Thank you. Please stay tuned for tomorrow's another TDS sections, and we will discuss another TDS, and next we are targeting another 20 to 15 to 20 days. We will cover all the TDS sections. This will be applicable for CA inter students, final students, as well as professionals, those who are giving the consultancy services to the partnership firm. Not only educational video, this will be applicable to all. Thank you so much.